We're Ryan and Kiana Kaopuiki, and this is our story. In May of last year, I was listening to a testimony from Ed Tote, and we're covering subject of finances. So sitting in the back row of church, and it was just me because he was homesick, and I was listening to everything that he was saying about how God had blessed him and how they have so many properties and just how God overflows in their life financially. And at that time, we were struggling so much. And like every time I recall it, just remembering all of the pain that we were going through is so real, you know? So it was that day I was listening to his testimony, and I looked at him and I was just asking God, like, what makes him so special? What is he doing that you are just overflowing in his life? Because I was doing like a comparison. So I was like, okay, he's from Hawaiian Homestead, I'm from Homestead. He's Hawaiian, I'm Hawaiian. He has 2 girls, I have 2 girls. Like, what's up? And so I was having this conversation with God as he was sharing. And he was talking about how he tithes and he seeds. And I kind of just had this thought, and I was like, would be kind of crazy if I tithe my whole next check and really test God and see what he's gonna do. And so in my mind, I was like, oh, that's just another one of my crazy ideas, you know, just one of my crazy thoughts I have. Just write it down, forget about it, we'll move on. Maybe it'll come back up, maybe not. And so I kind of made a deal with God. And I was like, you know what, God, if this is you, when I go home and I tell Ryan, he's gonna say yes. And for me, that'll be my confirmation that it's not just a crazy idea. This is really a prompting of the Holy Spirit, and this is something I gotta do. So all the way home, I started to psych myself out. Like, he's gonna say no, he's gonna say no. Cause usually that's kind of where we're at, you know, we're like, okay, we'll do it, but we'll only do this amount, or we'll do that amount, or we're gonna put it here or put it there. And we ended up coining a term, we call it hafting, you know, just putting it wherever you want to and not really giving your whole 10%. And so when I got home, I sat on the couch and I was like, babe, I gotta tell you something. He's like, okay. It's like, well, I had this idea. I was listening to this Hawaiian guy at church because we didn't really know Ed that well at the time. And I was like, we were listening to this Hawaiian guy at church and he said that he tithes. So I had this idea to give my whole next check. What do you think?
I agree. I just I don't know, it just came out. Yeah, let's do this.
He said shoots. That was his answer. It was shoots. And a part of me like died inside when he said shoots, because I was like, this is really gonna happen. Like, we are really gonna do this. Because I was like, I told God, and God showed up in him. So I was like, I'm not a punk. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna back down now. I said I was gonna do it. We're gonna do this. You know, I would run through my head like, okay, we can get 99-cent tacos from Jack in a Box. The girls can eat and we'll just cook something or just wait. And I was like, God, you really better show up, because this is crazy. I thought I was crazy. I'm like so scared, but I'm kind of excited, you know, because you're walking on the water now. Come that night when I was getting ready to get my direct deposit in, I stayed up because I wanted to see it and I wanted to send it, because I knew if I didn't do it, right when it hit my account, I wouldn't do it. It came in and I'm looking at it and it was $801.24. That was my check for that pay period. And I was like, no, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. And before I could even think about it, I just hit the button. And it said, confirmation, thank you for giving to New Hope Central Oahu. And I looked at that and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I can't believe I did it, but I did it. And I was like, you know what, Lord, now it's your turn. Like, I did my part, it's on you now. And oh gosh, that was the best decision we've ever made. So that was Friday. Saturday came and we got invited to somebody's house. I forget, we went to so many people's houses that week that they invited us over because they cooked too much food. So we showed up, we told them we don't have anything to bring. And they're like, it doesn't matter, just come. And we're like, okay. So we went and we brought home leftovers. And we weren't just eating like hamburger helper. We ate like kalua pig, we had lao lao, lomi salmon, poi, like all of our favorites. And then that was just Saturday. Then Sunday came, we went to another friend's house and we had lobster, we had steak, and we took leftovers home. Like, we ate till we were ready to pass out, definitely a knack attack. And we came home with leftovers and it was just way more than enough. And then, you know, the week after, we ended up getting our tax returns. We got $4,000 on that following Tuesday that we weren't supposed to get for like another 2-3 weeks. So that came in early. That's when all of it just started. And like, when I say all of it, like, we've been so blessed since then, financially, physically, spiritually. It hasn't even been a year yet since we started tithing and giving and seeding. 2 weeks after we started tithing, I got a raise, and I wasn't supposed to till December, but I got a raise. And so that was my first fruit. That very same day, I called him to tell him I got a raise. He got a raise. So both of us did first fruits at the same time. And that was in May. June, he got a raise. July, he got a raise. October,
I got another raise.
December, we got a whole new income bracket raise because he got hired at the union that he was praying over. And then January, he got another one. Our annual income has increased more than a little over $20,000 a year since May 8th till current. And he's gotten his dream job that we were praying for and we were contending for 10 years. This was the 10th year, and he got it within months. The door opened, and it's just been crazy amazing. And now we're in escrow right now to purchase our first house.
The motivation for that is generosity. You give your first fruits in generosity, and God just trusts you with more.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just God's promise coming to fruition. He promises you when you show him generosity that he can trust you with more.
Yeah. The tithe connects you to God's blessing. You know, when he talks about in the Bible, he opens the window of heaven, and God rocked our world and showed us, like, this is what I mean. This is how I will give back to you. That's God.